Hey everybody, let's give this another try. I don't know if there's some glitch with Facebook or not, because I had issues this morning with Instagram as well, so I'm not sure. But I wanted to get this done, so hopefully you guys you hung in there and you're still around, and we'll get this going, because this is a pretty big deal that we're going to get going here. So hopefully you can all come back on board, and I'll see your comments and your emoticons, etc., etc. So hopefully we're getting you going and back online. So I don't know what's going on there, but hopefully let me know you're out there. Let me know you're signed in and you're interested in the Coach Scott Abel Metabolism experiment. So this is going to be an experiment in extended overfeeding. So hey, people are coming on board. Alice and Bronco, yes. Good to see everybody. Hopefully you guys can see the comments here. So yeah, as Mike's saying, third time is the charm. So everything's clear as a bell right now. So great. And this is something I want people to participate in. So I'm about to head on vacation. And what I've done in the past is I've posted pictures of myself having a beer or having a meal or eating a donut or all those kind of things that you see in the cycle diet. But what's happened in the past is we've never tied those things together. And I've got some comments and questions lately that sort of question the whole cycle diet thing. So I want to get on that. Now, this is good. Like I said, the Coach Scott Abel Metabolism experiment is an experiment in extended overfeeding. What happens when you overfeed the body for an extended period of time? Now, I know a lot of people would sign up to volunteer for that experiment, but I've done it year in and year out. So now we're going to do it in a kind of more formal environment, which I'm going to outline to you right now. So if that interests you, then by all means, hit the shares, get people on board. I appreciate the like buttons, etc. I've talked cycle diet and refeeds and extended refeeds for years, the super compensation mode. I've always explained that metabolism is either optimized or compromised, but people don't really understand what that means. We've never actually illustrated in specific ways. Well, this time I'm going to document it, and you can all take part over the next couple of weeks. So this is going to go on starting from tomorrow, and I'll explain what happens tomorrow, right until September the 2nd. So I'm going to document it, and in fact, you can tell me how you can take part if you get ideas, and all comments are going to be welcome as the experiment unfolds starting tomorrow. So I know there's an interest in this stuff, and I know I've been searching and searching for other experts who understand the three realms of time of metabolism, the immediate, the residual, and the cumulative. No one talks about this stuff the way that I talk about it, and no one is set on proving it. So that's what I'm going to do. And why? Because people still write me, sometimes even my own clients, terrified about an upcoming vacation and supposed diet dilemma associated with that. So here goes, the Coach Scott Abel Metabolism Experiment. Can you really train your metabolism? Now, research shows that in the US, most people gain the most amount of permanent weight from the period from Thanksgiving to New Year's. My comment on that research has always been those people haven't trained their metabolisms, otherwise there would be no permanent weight gain. And we look at overfeed studies and we learn this. If you deliberately overfeed people, what happens when the overfeed is over? Their weight returns to normal. Why is that? And can you really train metabolism? Can you optimize a compromised metabolism? Do refeeds and cycle diet really work? Instead of a cheat day, what happens if you have an extended period of cheating? And I know people are interested in that. I get these questions almost on a daily basis, if not from people who aren't clients. They just heard of me and they heard of my work with metabolism, etc. So what would happen in a limited time of overfeeding a well-trained metabolism? We're going to talk metabolic optimization. Now, if this stuff interests you, let me know what interests you. So I'm going to take myself as the test subject in real time, and let's see what happens. How much weight would someone gain from pure indulgence over 2 weeks? How would they feel? How would they look? That kind of thing. How long If they gain weight, how long would that weight take to come off? Would that weight come off? How would the body look and feel different? Would clothes fit different? So these are all things that people think about and torture themselves over that I'm going to address in real time in a real way. So I leave for vacation on Friday morning. At the time of this recording, it's currently Wednesday. So what we're going to do, I don't own a weight scale. So tomorrow, we're going to head to the mall for the GNC, and they have a weight scale. And I will weigh myself tomorrow, the day before I leave for vacation. And I'm going to do that live. A lot of this stuff is going to take place live. So I really want your participation, your comments. Keep the streams going. Let me know if there's things you'd want me to include, not include, comments that you'd like to see me address, etc. So I'm going to go to the mall tomorrow after my second meal, weigh myself, and I'm going to show you the numbers on a live feed. And then I'm going to weigh myself again soon after I return from vacation, and then a week or two afterward. And doing that, we will see how much weight I gained in an extended overfeed and how long it takes my weight to return to normal, and whatever other questions you would like to see addressed during that time. Now, so in other words, starting Friday morning, I am going to go out of my way to eat really calorie-dense foods, whatever I'm in the mood for. I'm not going to, and I'll get to the specifics in a second. Now, here's a few points that we got to consider in terms of this experiment with just one test subject. This is hardly a scientific, lab, endeavor. But I'm 58 years old. The metabolism does slow down at this age, so there is that to consider. And my eating, therefore, is not likely going to be as robust as former days, but my metabolism is still optimized. I'm plenty confident about that. So during the following 2.5 weeks, I will refeed and overfeed as much food as I can handle and as much food as I feel like. Like I said, it's vacation, so for the purposes of the experiment, I will indulge, but I'm not going to force feed myself just to see what happens until I'm sick. The rules are that I will work out minimally, just a few workouts, because I had already planned to get a few resistance band workouts on video, etc., training without equipment, etc. But then I'm going to do minimal to no workouts at all. Now, another part of the rule is I won't deliberately eat animal flesh or obvious animal food sources. I don't do that anymore. But for the sake of the overfeed experiment, I'm not going to search labels like I did last year on vacation to investigate what foods may have some inadvertent animal ingredients. If I want to have donuts that are cream-filled, I'm going to have donuts that are cream-filled. If I want to eat a carrot cake with cream cheese icing, I'm going to eat a carrot cake with cream cheese icing. I just won't go out of my way to eat meat and dairy, etc., etc. So I will eat for the purpose and the full time of this experiment. I will eat what I want, when I want, as much as I want, as usual on vacation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to include at least one video post per day, and each day is going to be numbered. Day 1, day 2, day 3, etc. And all you guys and anyone you want to share this with can participate all along the way. And I'll try to go live at least once a day with a meal that I'm eating. So there's going to be no calorie counting, no macro nonsense. I'm not trying to stay within any kind of window or any of this. This is what I'm trying to point out, as someone posted an article on my Abel Files Facebook group just yesterday, a journalist talking about this new problem with people obsessing about diet, something I've been talking about for years and years and years. So this is what we are going to do. So there's going to be no calorie counting, no macro nonsense, just constant vacation indulgence for the duration with no focus at all on burning calories. I'm not going to be working out. And if any one of you followers, of course, wants to bother figuring out my calories when I'm posting a meal or whatever, then go for it. But it's not something I'm going to concern myself with, because it's not something I ever concern myself with. So I'm not going to change the rules as I go. Also, it's not going to be about force feeding myself or gorging or binging. That's not the purpose here. But it is about an extended overfeeding and what effects does an extended overfeeding have on metabolism. And I'm going to talk about concepts like situational hypermetabolism, what that means both internally and externally, and that's the kind of thing there. So more than 2 weeks off diet totally with minimum workouts, and I will let you know what days I actually work out, and most of the time I won't be. And we will see the benefits or the drawbacks of metabolic optimization. How minimal will be my weight gain after, say, 2 weeks on however many days of not following my strict diet strategy regimen? How long is it going to take for weight to return to normal? Now, here is what I expect to happen. I expect to have a minimal difference because I do this all the time, but I've never put it to the test. I've never weighed myself. And we're not going to know how much of that is fat, water, muscle, whatever, water retention. What I expect to happen is a minimal influence, even with a maximal indulgence. So a minimal metabolic impact with a maximal food indulgence. Let me say that again. A minimal metabolic impact with a maximal food indulgence. So we'll see what happens. And I'll go live at least once a day with at least one overfeed meal. I'll post more if we can only get pictures, if we can't get a Wi-Fi connection at a restaurant or where I happen to be eating, whatever. But I'll post more if I can, and we'll get everybody to participate, share this. I think people will be interested because I think people are skeptical that, do these people really indulge on their vacations, and do they really have their body go back to normal? And what if, what would happen to me? Oh, I could never get away with that. Well, let's do this in real time. So on the flip side, what I expect this experiment will also show is how bulking up never works for most people because they don't overfeed for a long enough period to make a difference, and their body and metabolism just go right back to where they were before. But that's kind of another topic. I'll kind of slightly address it, but it depends on what happens with my own physique and my own body. So I'll comment on how I'm feeling. I'll comment on the emotional, the mental impact, if any. You'll see the foods that I'm eating and indulging in, and you'll be able to participate each and every day. I will label each day, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. And we will have an extended overfeed and see if I look different, see if I feel different, see if when I get back, I will go weigh myself on the same scale at the same time of day, see if I weigh different. If I do, I'll weigh myself the following week and see if there's any difference there. So we're going to talk all about the effects on metabolism, the effects on body weight, etc. And that, I think, is going to be a pretty cool thing for people to witness because we've never really done it in real terms, in terms of weigh-ins, etc., because it's just not something I do. So really important. And I'm going to get to your comments in a minute. Now, I've also mentioned, and I want to mention this again, we are looking into conducting a metabolism experiment with other people, but not in the same vein, because I know that would freak people out. So it's not really like this one at all. It's going to be different in many respects. And we're looking for 5 men and 5 women to participate. Now, we do have concerns on whether we can pull this one off because we're looking for people who can follow a very simple diet strategy instruction. It's going to be really simple, the simplest you've probably ever heard, but it's going to have to be continuous for 21 days. And our worry about putting this out there as an experiment going through this is the dropout rate of how flaky people can be with commitment, that they'll sign up for, a 21-day experiment with a simple diet instruction, but they won't see it through. So we're really kind of a little worried about that because it would affect the outcome of what we're, wanting to see from this particular metabolism experiment. I don't want to give out the details unless we run it beforehand, because when I do these things, other people steal my ideas, present them as their own, and I don't want that to happen. So if you think you might fit be able to follow a very simple diet instruction for 21 days and not drop out, just send Mike an email at mike@scottabelfitness.com, and we're not going to run that till we set everything up in the fall, mid-fall, whatever. But that is going to be an exciting thing if we can get enough people to sign up. But you would have to actually eat the meals, trust but verify. The instructions that you're given will have to be recorded so that people witness that you're not just saying that you're following something that you're not following. So that's a big deal. So getting to everyone's comments, I'm not sure if I can post comments here. Everyone can see the comments, so it's a little different than the software I usually use. So yeah, so hopefully we can get into that. So what are some of the good comments here? This is very, very important. So Donna's just saying, wouldn't waist measurement before, during, and after be more informative than the scale amount? Maybe, but I'm gonna for waist measurement, Donna, I'm just gonna go by how my clothes fit. I'm not gonna get into tape measures and stuff, because for me it sends the wrong message, which is something I've been preaching about for years. So I don't want to suddenly even give an indication that I've gone in a different direction. But it's a good point for sure. Very, very important. So Allison's just asking, how different do you anticipate your diet to be if you don't really have a deprivation mindset? Will there really be maximum indulgent? Yeah, there's always maximum indulgent, Allison. It's a fantastic question, though. Actually, it's really a fantastic question. For me, I've always said, a time for every purpose under heaven. And for me, vacation, part of vacation, no matter where I'm going, is food indulgence. So it's going to be completely different than my normal diet. Like I said, if I want to have a carrot cake, I'm going to eat a carrot cake. If I want to have a plant burger and fries, I'm going to have plant burger and fries. I wouldn't eat that on a day-to-day basis in my current diet. So, yeah, but that's a really, really good question. So the diet is going to be completely different. When I go on vacation, part of it for me is literally to vacate my work, vacate the way I usually do things, the way I conduct myself. So it's really to get away. And part of that for me is because I've always loved food. I don't know, and I have no respect for this modern trend where we've become so fearful of food that people are afraid to eat fruit. People are afraid to eat a ripe banana. I mean, these are the things that are actually posted on my own social media pages that people are curious about. And as Dr. Garth Davis recently said, you could rob a bank these days with a piece of whole wheat bread or a banana. Like, it's just getting insane. So I'm going to show you how metabolism plays out over a period of time. I know what I suspect to happen. I've never actually weighed myself after an extended overfeed, because I've never really had to. I just always knew that my weight would go back to normal. In fact, the week after I get back, even though I'll weigh in for all you guys, I'm still going to have my refeed day. I'm going to go right back to my refeed day as well, like 6 days after 2.5 weeks off. So Aaron's just saying, that he loves this. Now he can share this rather than always explaining why this works, and he can do it in real time. Linda's just saying, yep, it's an exciting project, and it's going to be fun for me. Like, that's something, that's something, that I do all the time. I've just never put a measuring to it at all. So it's going to be interesting to see, and I will comment on how I feel. If I feel bloated and disgusting, I'm going to say that. And if I, feel fine, I'm going to say that too. So the only rules are that I won't go out of my way to eat animal products, but I won't search labels like I did last time either. So that's going to be something that we're going to look into. But if you have any ideas on other things I should consider, like I like that one about what about a waist measurement. It's just, it's a good idea, but that's not where I'm going to go with it, because I want to keep the effects to a minimum. But you will witness, again, I'm going to do day 1, day 2, day 3, and you will witness, I'm going to do it in real time, an actual overfeeding. So maybe you'll say, hey, Scott, you're not as vascular as you were before, or you don't look as lean as you did. whatever. It's going to be an extended overfeed, and there's going to be choose the behavior, choose the consequences. But at the same time, there's going to be what happens after. What happens after an extended overfeed and you go back to your regular diet strategy? Does the weight come back off, or will I stay 5 pounds heavier for a month? Let's just find out what happens. And I think that'll be a great, great thing. So again, these other people, and you want to be part of a different kind of metabolism experiment, then write Mike at scottabelfitness.com. It's not really a 21-day diet. It's a 21-day instruction of what you must do for 21 days. And again, we'll see how metabolism responds over that. And I really want to conduct that experiment, which is not going to be an extended overfeed. I wouldn't want to put people in that position who aren't ready to undertake it. But if you think you can handle a diet instruction for 21 days, a very, very simple one, actually a very simple one, but we have to trust but verify, which means you will have to actually show yourself following that instruction for 21 days, day 1, day 2, day 3, etc. So if you think you can handle that, then write Mike at scottabelfitness.com. So this is the Coach Scott Abel Metabolism Experiment. We're going to go to the mall tomorrow, and I'm going to weigh in at the mall. I'll do it live if we can do live. If not, we'll put it on video, and I'll definitely get back to you on that. But let me know your ideas down below, your comments, and I will definitely include them, and I will consider them. So, yeah, so I'm just getting Nisi here saying... it's my first time. Can someone tell me what this is all about, please? Well, it's kind of like I wrote a book, and I've been following a certain diet strategy with myself and my clients for decades now, Nisi. It's called the Cycle Diet, and it's about how metabolism works over the long term and what you can do to actually train your metabolism so that diet indulgences just don't lead to more and more added unwanted fat gain and weight gain. And for my clients that have been practicing it, they know this to be true, but we've never actually put it to the test. So we're going to do that with this experiment. And again, this isn't going to be like some super lab, people can poo-poo all over it, because it's not going to be a scientific control, because it's going to be my vacation time. But it is going to be an extended overfeed. What happens when you overfeed your body for an extended period of time? Are there long-term consequences to that in terms of negative cosmetic impact? That's what it's going to be about. So, and again, we're going to start tomorrow's still a diet day for me. I will weigh in the middle of the diet day, and we'll see what that starting weight is, and that'll be the base point. That'll be the starting point, and then from there we will take it. I'm not going to obviously weigh myself on vacation. I don't even own a weight scale, so I'm not going to go out of my way on vacation, but we will see. And if I'm eating carrot cake for breakfast, I'm eating carrot cake for breakfast. If I'm eating whatever for dinner, we're going to play that when I'm there, right? But I'm going to go out of my way to overfeed, and if there is a way to have more calories than less calories, then I'm going to do that. So I'm going to choose, in a certain situation, depending on my appetite, how hungry I am, I will choose the more calorie-dense foods over the less calorie-dense foods for the duration of the experiment, and we'll see what happens. I know what I expect to happen, but maybe I'll be surprised myself. So if you're on board with that, you think it's a really cool idea, then throw some emoticons across the screen. Let me know your comments, and if you're coming into this after the fact, let me know your comments. But most people you see online, they're doing 21-day diets, and they're doing this experiment and that experiment. It's always about depriving the body. It's always about no carbs for 14 days, and this is what happened. I went vegan for 14 days, and this is what happened. I did a carnivore diet for 14 days, and this is what happened. But you see online how paranoid people are to overfeed for an extended period of time and see what happens. So I'm going in the other direction here. As per the Cycle Diet, I'm going to load up Buttercup. I might even have a Buttercup. Well, no, I won't have butter. But so you'll see this is what's going to unfold. It's going to be more than 2 weeks. We'll start at the airport on Friday morning if I have time. And what we can't do live, we will definitely take pictures of. And then when I get back, I'll weigh myself again, same time of day on the same weight scale, see what the difference is, and then see if it's more than you guys thought it would be, less than you guys thought it would be, given that you'll see everything I ate along the way. And yeah, we'll see. So Alice just saying, it's an excellent idea. I'm so tired of the fattish deprivation diets. Yep, I wouldn't go there, Alice. But here's just what popped into my head when I was telling Mike about this idea and that he thought, people would be interested in this. I remember one of the, I think it was 2 years ago when I was in Aruba. I was coming back from Aruba in the airport, sitting at a bar, having a few pops, and got hungry. And had some pizza and a couple pieces of carrot cake, and someone actually walked over and said, "Excuse me, I hope, blah, blah, blah," introduced themselves. Very nice, very friendly, and said, "There's no way that you look like that and eat that kind of food." And I said, "Well, grab a seat and watch me." Like, I had I wasn't trying to prove anything. I wasn't trying to do anything. But this is how the common person thinks. So I want to show the effects. I want to show that you can train your metabolism, what happens in a trained metabolism with an extended overfeed. Mark, yeah, the vacation's in Aruba, and we head out Friday, but from where I live, it takes a couple of days to get there. So knock on wood that all the flights are on time and everything, and we will arrive there Saturday. But I'm not taking any food with me for the flights Friday. So it'll all begin in earnest at tomorrow's weigh-in at the mall, which I'll try to do live, and I'll show you the numbers on a piece of paper. GNC does a printout when you weigh in there. I'm not sure if people know that or not. So it'll start there, and then Friday morning, the Eat Fest will be on, and we will see what happens. What happens with my weight, what happens with my physique, what happens with all those things. So hopefully you're all on board with that. If you are, then share this idea and get other people who are scared to eat, get them on board, see if they will, tune in and participate. So that kind of thing. So again, I'm sorry for the technical problems. I don't know what's going on there, but glad I could bring this live. So I'll try to do it again. So that's it. The Coach Scott Abel Metabolism Experiment, an extended experiment in overfeeding, an extended overfeed. Let's see what happens. I'm on board. I'm going to see what happens, but I'm going to tell you mentally and emotionally, not just cosmetically and physically. I'll tell you how I'm feeling. I'll tell you if I'm feeling like crap, and we'll see how it all unfolds. So hopefully you'll all participate day 1, day 2, etc., etc. And if so, then I'll see you a little earlier than this time tomorrow, going live from the mall with the actual weigh-in in real time. We'll see what it is, and that'll be our start weight, and we'll see how the process unfolds. So pitter patter, let's get at her. That's the Coach Scott Abel Metabolism Experiment, and yeah, I look forward to bringing it to you. So Steve just asking, do you literally eat as much as you can till you're ready to pop? No, I outlined that earlier in this live session, Steve. No, it's not about how much can you shove into your pie hole. Although if I want to eat a whole pie, I will. It's about indulging and over consuming, overeating, but it's not about trying to prove something like, I can eat more donuts than you or something like that. It's eating till comfortable, but it's also about an extended overfeed. So it's about indulging in hyperpalatable foods for an extended period of time and seeing what the consequences and ramifications are of that in the short term and or long term. So hope that explains it, but you'll see as it unfolds, Steve. You'll see that, I won't be like, blah, 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 I can't move. That's not mature. That's not where I'm at in life. But I'm also not at a place in life where I'm scared to death of food. And I'm tired of that mantra being presented as being healthy when actually people are just hiding behind health because they're so scared to death of, of a banana or a piece of whole wheat bread or whatever it might be. So this is the experiment. We'll see how it unfolds. I hope lots of you will participate. as it all unfolds, and give me your comments and your shares, your likes. And for you think there's people out there who are skeptical, hit the share button, share it with them, and go, hey, look what this guy's doing for the next couple of weeks. Tune in and witness it, because I'm going to do it on camera, so there's no lying, there's no faking, none of that stuff. Yeah. And with that in mind, I'm going to sign out, and hopefully you guys will have more comments for me to consider and appreciate. And if you're around, so tomorrow it all begins with the official weigh-in before the overfeeding begins. Cool experiment, I think. And then if it works out, I mean, how it works out, if you're all really interested 2 weeks from now, then we will undertake the Coach Scott Abel metabolism experiment that I have in mind, which is different than an overfeed, because I know that'll freak people out. But if you're up for that, we need 5 men and 5 women for that too. So cool. So hopefully you'll turn in, yeah. And we'll take it from there. So I'm not going to get into science and all this stuff about thyroid and all the rest of it that people were suggesting. I want to keep it simple. I want to keep it real. And I want to keep it on a level that most people can relate to, not just fitness buffs and science buffs and research buffs. I've been there, done that. I'm trying to relate to that person who cornered me at the Aruba airport that year and said, there's no way you eat that and look like that. So that's who I'm trying to cater to, is that mindset who thinks one way about food and metabolism without understanding that you can either have them optimized or compromised metabolism, and you can actually train your metabolism. So hopefully you think it's a cool idea. I'm done ranting and raving, and I'll see you all at the weigh-in tomorrow morning.